It's your girl, Claudia Jordan. It is Friday, and we are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this hot tea. I'm going to switch it up today because he trying to dress like me, and, imitation is the highest form of flattery. Funky Dineva, what's up, Q?
What's going on, everybody? And girl, please, you always trying to dress like me, honey. You're not a fashion girl, honey. Just cut it out.
You're not a girl. All right, and please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Claudia? Thank God it's Friday.
It is.
Oh, Friday.
Where are you going this weekend, Claudia?
Our vacation starts actually, so I'm not going anywhere. But I want to go to Europe. I was trying to go to Europe, but we'll see what happens.
Oh shoot,
our vacation starts. We off next week?
Yeah, vacation. It's our summer vacation.
Oh, child, I didn't even know.
We got some days off.
I did not know that.
I didn't even know. I promise you, I didn't know.
Oh, y'all not used to having regular jobs. That's so cute. What y'all drinking tonight?
Girl, I'm sipping air, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just, after the week I had, child, I'm drinking all the liquor this weekend, honey.
You need to. The way you was trending all over Twitter, getting me dragged in your shit.
Right.
Al, what are you drinking?
Water, because it's cute.
Right?
Some bitches.
We all towing the line for him, though. We towing the line.
Not me, girl. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Lord. This definitely is a not me girl moment.
It is. I just was with them girls, and they thought they didn't watch the whole clip, so they didn't see that I was defending them, and they was all mad at me. And I was like,
God.
making me seem like I'm fake. I'm like, listen, we get in. If y'all not familiar with our show, we get into it, and we have opposing views sometimes, and that's why we do. That's the beauty of our show.
Listen, listen, y'all. I take my L on the chin, just like I said in my apology yesterday. I'll eat this. It was me. I'll always stand 10 toes down in my drama. Y'all leave my co-hosts, them people alone. Y'all leave them people alone. They got enough of their own shit coming up, I'm pretty sure. So I'll eat this one.
And then Essence Magazine and made it officially Chloe Bailey Day just to really send attention to us. I was like, I guess we won't be on any Essence panels next summer. Thanks, Q.
Oh, Lord.
All right, let's get into the show. Attention, attention. Whoopi Goldberg is setting the record straight that she is not gay. That, Q. Listen, don't start no shit. We didn't even get to the first goddamn commercial. What we not about to do is attack black women every show. We're going to have to attack some black men on this show.
Well, put some black men's stories up there that ain't lying. We just got to write the whole week off.
Right.
I'm so glad I'm going on vacation, being away from you niggas for a few days. I cannot. The actress confirmed on a recent episode of...
Are we going to get through this show today?
Of Raven Simone's podcast, the best podcast ever with Raven and Miranda, after Raven expressed that Whoopi gave off lesbian and stud vibes. Yo, y'all producers, why are you starting the show with this? This panel is not mature enough for this story. They know this. The EGOT winner admitted women have been asking me for as long as I've been around. Whoopi also said, I'm not a lesbian, but I know lots of them, and I played them on television. What are your thoughts? And did you ever think Whoopi was gay? I'm not going to Q first.
Oh, you're going to go to me
I know
first.
you know Whoopi, Al, so please.
Yes, I used to go to her Christmas parties. It used to be so nice. Beautiful.
I know. Did you ever think she was a lesbian? No, right?
Let me tell you this. I don't know that I thought that she was just a lesbian. Did I think she was not heterosexual? Yes. But then again, that's none of my business. But at the end of the day, for me, whether she is or whether she's not, I still respect and honor her as one of the most influential black entertainers in the business. And she's been towing that line for us for over 3 decades. And I love that about her. Do I think Raven Simone, was out of line for asking her that? No. I mean, I think that this was probably the safest space for her to come and to discuss it. It's something that we've all thought one way or another. We've all thought it. So why not have Raven? Her and Raven have a very different relationship, and it was safe enough, I'm sure, that she felt like she could ask Whoopi those things. I don't think she was disrespectful to her at all.
Okay, I agree. Q, what do you think?
You know what? So obviously our show is one of those things where we operate in a very honest space, and we operate in a very what everybody says behind closed door space. And anybody who follow Whoopi Goldberg and says that it hasn't, and I love the way Al phrased it, I didn't think she was heterosexual. Anybody who sit up here and say for 1 minute it didn't cross their mind that she may not be fully heterosexual, they're lying, all right? And I do respect the fact that this was a safe and a space, and Raven did it with enough respect and class to ask the question, because we have all wondered. But I think the more evolved conversation we need to have is about how gender and sexuality can present in many different ways, right? Like Whoopi's a prime example about blurring gender lines and sexual orientation. She is a straight woman. I'm assuming so. She didn't necessarily label herself, but she does present masculine, or what we would deem masculine at times, which led to some confusion. But I didn't think anything was disrespectful about the conversation, and hell, we was all thinking it.
I don't know if I thought she was a lesbian. I just thought she dressed like one. And there is a difference, right? There is a difference. Like you could because like her vibes, I remember she was dating Ted Hansen. Was it Ted Hansen?
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, and she got in a whole bunch of trouble with the whole blackface thing, with him doing it. And I just thought she had just different tastes in men. And then she has a child. And I never thought she was a lesbian, but I just thought she's lesbian adjacent with how she presents her dress. Or she's kind of at that phase, like I don't give a damn anymore. I'm just gonna wear whatever. I'm gonna wear my dusters, and I don't really care. And I don't like people coming for Whoopi's looks. I want to say this: go back and look at Whoopi Goldberg, some of her earlier photos when she was like her headshots and stuff like that. And she presented a lot more feminine. And like I remember a shot of her with like you see just skin, and it was a dope ass photo. Like Whoopi was serving back in the day. She was, but she's also not 25 anymore. She's at that phase. She's like, I ain't wearing no heels and lashes and all that other bullshit. So Whoopi, I just think she has a unique way of dress. I'm gonna call it unique. How about that? Unique? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
All right. A nurse is getting backlash on social media for posting a video at work with the caption, "I give heart attacks." Now, one person replied and wrote, "Healthcare isn't a job or career for some people. It's an aesthetic. People are becoming doctors and nurses for the lifestyle, but there's lives on the line behind that career." Another person wrote, "Please stop risking your job for likes and attention from people you don't like anyway." Do y'all think this nurse was out of line, Al?
I don't know here. I feel like this. This is a question of whether this registered nurse is inappropriate versus doing some type of misconduct violation of a policy. For me, is it inappropriate? Some could say yes, some could say no. I thought it was playful. I thought it was fun. Now, she has to go back to her handbook, though. Is she allowed to do social media? Because a lot of hospitals and a lot of school systems and a lot of these, types of jobs are very clear about what you can and cannot do with your phone and on social media during work hours. She's clearly doing work hours. Looks like she's the night shift. So here the question is, if she did not, break any violations or break any policies, then heck, she could do what she want to do. Is it inappropriate? That's up to us to decide.
You? Inappropriate or not?
You know my favorite saying, if I pull a glove inside out, it still has to be a glove, a la Miss Toni Morrison. What are we saying here? Is it because she's a nurse and she said it? So if Claudia was to take a photo and said, "I give heart attacks," we'd be fine. So following this logic, if a stewardess had on her uniform and she said, "Baby, I cause planes to crash," will we be at an uproar? If the cafeteria lady had on her cafeteria uniform and she say, "I cause them to choke," would she be out of line? I'm just confused at what's making this out of line. Now, I'm reasonable enough to assume that people are drawing the comparison between her working in the medical field and the heart attack. But at the end of the day, it's just making me say, y'all are looking for something to be mad about, because in no way is she implying that she's going in patient's room and doing anything to cause them to have heart attacks. She's just saying, I'm giving it to them. And I really think y'all doing too much.
I think probably because she had her uniform on and she was in the hospital. And then we had definitely covered a lot of stories lately where healthcare providers are doing stuff on purpose, poisoning kids and doing that kind of stuff. So I think it's the time.
Wrong climate.
Yeah, the wrong climate right now. Because if not, I get it. She had a banging ass body. I get what she was trying to say. But I think everyone's actually very sensitive in all areas right now. Don't y'all think?
Yeah.
All right. The comparison between Beyonce and Taylor Swift, which is absolutely mind-blowing in my opinion, continues after comedian Andrew Schultz claimed that Taylor Swift has more hits than Beyonce. Any thoughts on this tired debate? Funky, let's go to you first on this one.
All right. I mean, what are we using to determine hits? Are we using Billboard stats, or are we using what people personally feel is their hit and their favorite? Here is the thing. They are both dope artists, right? For me, Beyonce is the better artist because I'm more in tune with Black music, urban music, R&B music. I can't tell you a single song Taylor Swift sings, but she comes across my social media and my TV stuff enough for me to know that she is a superstar as well. Here is what's bothering me. You don't compete where you don't compare. The two are not even in the same genre. So I could understand if all of this ruckus was between, let's just say hypothetically, Beyonce and Rihanna in the moment, or Beyonce and Janet Jackson in the moment. As far as this debate's concerned, Taylor Swift might as well be Dolly Parton to me. What are we comparing here? They don't even compete in the same lane. So I'm kind of over this. Beyonce's in her 40s. This little girl is in her late 20s. I'm assuming. I don't know.
30s.
But yeah.
You know what it feels like? Especially with all the racial tension in America the last 5 years that's been extra on steroids. It feels like when there's a boxing match and there's a white boxer against the black champ, and it feels like they got someone that's kind of in the running. So it's like they're just building this up and comparing. We've never heard anyone like this be compared to Beyonce. Then all of a sudden everyone's jumping on this Taylor Swift Beyonce thing, which is the most random thing ever. And that's what it feels like. It feels like that's their Rocky Balboa right now. I don't know. It kind of feels like that. Al, what do you think about this comparison? Is it fair or not?
Well, I think we have to go back to what he really said. Okay. Now, he gave a very strong argument because what he said was the number of #1 songs without features. Mm-hmm. That's where he got it. Because, hands down, she does have the most #1 songs without features, okay? I'll give you that. But that's not going to, in my mind, that's not going to make you the best performer or the best artist. So for me, I'm with Beyonce hands down. I feel like she may not have the #1 hits without features as Taylor Swift, but she still is doing her thing, and she's still, been in the game almost 30 years, and she still have some of the best tours and best performances. She, to me, is the ultimate performer. I don't think of Taylor Swift as a performer. And also, think about it. She is the only female performer who has been on stage with Prince, Michael Jackson, Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, Celine Dion, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, soulmates help me on this one, but even James Brown. Taylor Swift can't say that. Sorry. So my vote is for Beyonce, not only as the best performer, but I'll vote for her as the best artist in general.
I'm with you. I can't name not one Taylor Swift song, album song, nothing. I know nothing about her that said that she has a lot of breakups, and then I hear she makes songs, and every time she breaks up with someone, they go, it's going to be a good song coming.
And listen, let's be clear about one thing, right? If Taylor Swift is what that population is deeming their Beyonce, then we have to let them have it because we have our Beyonce. But let's be very clear about something. The comparison is always Taylor Swift to Beyonce and not Beyonce to Taylor Swift. Let's be very clear about that. Nobody, you get how that works? It's always Taylor Swift to Beyonce, not Beyonce to Taylor Swift. Please don't get it twisted. Beyonce is the yardstick by which the rest of these girls measure themselves.
I can't believe we're even having this conversation. I really can't even believe that this is even a thing. Okay, girl. Sure. Coming up next, we are taking a flight to the slums of Florida. And later, slums. Okay. And later, we have a random tea fact of the day for you, so stick around. Welcome back to the show. All right, y'all. Whether good, bad, ugly, or just plain dumb, the tea is always overflowing with crazy news stories out of the state of Florida. And that's why we're giving you the 411 in What's the Florida? All right, y'all. There's a teacher shortage in the state of Florida. According to the state, Florida had almost 5,000 open teaching positions by the time schools opened around the state this year. An 8% decrease in the number of teacher vacancies reported at the same time last school year. Funky, what would you say is, would you say that politics are impacting Florida's education system?
Most definitely, Claudia. Politics are impacting Florida's education system. The cost of living is impacting Florida's education system. It's no secret. I went to college here in Florida, thus a lot of my friends are teachers. Even this year, it hit me at home. The principal of my nephew's school called me because I told her I had some gift cards that I wanted to give Isaac's class teacher to get some supplies. She called me when I drove away from the school and said, we got a teacher that literally just started because we got so many vacancies. She has nothing on her walls. Can you turn around and bring the gift card back so we can get her some supplies? She's crying because she has nothing for her class. Florida ranks in the bottom of pay for teachers with an average median pay of $51,000 a year. And I've said this before, and some of y'all take exception with me. If you are in Florida and you are in school to be a teacher, you a damn fool. If you are in Florida and you are a woman who's not married well to a husband that's doing well, you are a damn fool. And it sucks because there are people who are passionate about being educators and the children are our future. But to know all the issues that we have in education right now, the pay and everything that this man is doing, you'll be a damn fool to sit at anybody's university for 4 years, major in education, and go into the Florida school system.
It's a little dangerous, too, on top of all that. On top of the financial destruction to your life, right? The impact. Ron DeSantis made it virtually impossible. You can get in trouble for accidentally teaching about Black history, saying a true fact. They're making it very unappealing. Who would want to do that, right, Al?
I have to disagree with the two of you. You know, the pay for teachers have been the same. I mean, it's been the same. It's just a different year. I come from a family of educators, and Q know, and you know, I'm returning to the classroom, and I'm not returning to the classroom at a historically Black college, not because of the pay, not because it could possibly be difficult, but because I have a commitment to education across the board. And I think that's why most people go into teaching or go into education, is because of their commitment to teaching our kids. Somebody has to do it. We talk about on this show all the time about the race to the bottom. Well, look, us teachers on the front line are just trying to stop that bottom from getting there faster. So I will say this, hopefully with the new administration, the present administration, just in general, people will start to follow what the state of California is doing. They're giving $10,000 signing bonuses, and you're able to make a six-figure salary if you decide to return to the classroom. That's what I'm hoping, and probably what we're going to need desperately in the state of Florida in order to turn this around.
I get your point in other places, but this is what the Florida. So we're talking about Florida, why there's a 5,000, teacher shortage. Like, they're not doing right by their teachers. And yes, the check has been the same, but the cost of living in Florida, I think you guys have had one of the biggest rises in the country. Florida and Georgia have been really awful. So the same salary that you could give, I have two friends that are teachers in Florida, right? And they teach young kids and they love them. But they said it is virtually, they have to work a second job to provide stuff for their own, which is, why don't governments prioritize teaching? Why? And you hear these Republicans talking about cutting from education. Like, you guys, Al, you should be rewarded greatly. You should be paid well. And like Funky said, the children are our future, but what kind of future are they going to have that people don't want to even sign up to do it anymore, that aren't as committed to you, Al, don't have a secondary job? There's people that this is their it's really sad what they're doing to teachers, and they deserve so much more. They deserve all the credit too, I believe.
Agreed.
All right, speaking of education, a Central Florida school district has decided to reverse the decision to restrict a popular children's book about a male penguin couple hatching a chick from school libraries. Their complaint challenged Florida's new law prohibiting classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in certain grade levels. But the new law only applied to classroom instructions and not school libraries. What are your thoughts? Most important, how do you feel about two penguins hatching a baby chick? What do you think about this? Who wants to go first?
Well, listen, we already know that penguins do have these types of relationships in real life in the wild, right? So, I mean, it's on brand for Florida because we love, fudging the truth and making up whatever we want when it comes to facts, history, biology at this point now. And listen, guys, all of this is just the byproduct of Ron DeSantis's blatant attacks on the trans and the gay community in Disney, and all things that Florida really ain't having issues with. And we need issues with cost of living, employment, education, so on and so forth, homelessness, healthcare, all this other trivial stuff. Getting in fights with Mickey Mouse is just ridiculous. I was on the phone with my friend yesterday, who's a 7th grade teacher, and she was like, because of this new Don't Say Gay bill, every movie that she wants to show her class now, she has to have the media specialists approve it before she can even show it to make sure that it meets the criteria. And she was just so frustrated because she was like, lessons I've been teaching for years, now I don't know if I can teach them anymore. I'm gonna get in trouble. It's just a huge nuisance created to rile up a group of people who ain't worth their weight in jelly beans. And this man is not even going to win. And so much destruction is going to be done to Florida as a result of him trying to win this futile mission to be president.
And if it was like not for the hypocrisy, you know me, hypocrisy and double standards really irk the shit out of me. If you truly cared about kids, right? Show me the studies where a book that mentioned homosexuality or two same-sex couple raising a baby penguin, whatever. Show me where that has caused harm. But we do have video games that make murder very realistic. We do have video games that encourage guns and shooting the shit out of people, like Funky says. And we have no sense of urgency when it comes to violence and guns, but all this attention to gay and trans issues. Al, what do you think about this? And this?
This is what I think, Claudia and Q. We can't change the fact that the man has put the laws in place, right? So to me, if you can't change it, then you have to find your workaround. This, to me, was a brilliant workaround. What they said was you can't have it in instructions, but you cannot say that you can't have it in the libraries. So I love the fact that somebody smart has now circumvented this crazy law that DeSantis has put in place and has found an outlet where we can still have the collateral or the book available for people to go to the library and learn about these things. So if it was me and I was a teacher, I would assign a library assignment. I will assign a library assignment not only in LGBTQ space or in the African American space as well, and I would give them a report to write about a book that they found in the library. That to me would be a workaround, and that's also a way of like giving DeSantis the forget you.
Do that again, Al. You scared me.
Look, I can't do it. I can't do it again because I don't know if we can get away with that.
Oh, we've done a lot worse here on the show. But you know what? At least y'all are still able to do that because here in Texas, they are shutting down the libraries here in Harris County, the biggest African-American county in America, actually, around Houston. They are shutting down libraries and taking control of the school systems. Like, it is really bad here. Like Florida and Texas are kind of neck and neck with this bullshit. All right, get into the sick news. A Florida man has been arrested and charged with animal abuse and practicing veterinary medicine without a license after he posed as a veterinarian and performed surgery on a pregnant dog who died of complications from the procedure. Oh my God. Ugh, Funky, what do you think?
He from Rhode Island, okay?
No, he is not. Lies. He got the meth scars on his forehead. That's Florida.
Listen, I've been from Florida all my life, and I just recently turned 40. And we do scam a lot of things. But this veterinary scam, we ain't never had no veterinary scams. Now, we tie the dogs up to the tree and leave them in the hot sun. We let the dogs roam the street. I ain't never in all my 40 years heard nothing about nobody. First of all, veterinary don't even pay. Do you know how many damn it's an inappropriate show. Hey, let me follow suit. You know how many damn black people in Florida standing don't take their damn dogs to the vet? This is literally the least lucrative business you can probably be in the damn state of Florida. He right there want to operate on damn Fido. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Throw his ass in jail and send him back to Rhode Island where he came from.
Al, what do you think about this?
You know, one thing you cannot do in America is mess with people's pets. I don't know what he was thinking, and I don't know how long he thought he was was going to pull this off. But if you're going to pretend to be a vet, can you please not kill your patients?
Look at him.
He was trying to help.
No.
I have a friend whose cat got raped by the vet.
Yeah, I remember you.
It was Mimi. She talks about it. But yeah, these vets are off the chain. So anyways, all right. That's enough telling other people's business. Coming up next, we have our tea fact of the day, and later find out why Glo-Rilla is calling out Lil Duval. Stay tuned. Welcome back to TGIF. All right, we can all agree that social media tends to resurface some of the most random facts in pop culture history. So it's only fair that we unpack those facts in our tea fact of the day.
Hey.
Okay, new segment alert. Did you guys know that Toni Braxton wasn't a huge fan of her 1996 hit record, Unbreak My Heart? She did not. That was a song that she just was not feeling. You know what's crazy? I've been hearing this a lot lately about some of the artists and the biggest songs that we associate with them.
They didn't like.
They weren't feeling them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's interesting because that's the longest running number one from a female artist R&B song ever, right? And it was written by Diane Warren and David Foster, who we know they've written for Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. I Will Always Love You was written by that pair. What a dynamic duo.
No. Dolly wrote I Will Always Love You.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Dolly Parton.
Oh, what, the rewrite? Didn't he write that for her, though?
How do you rewrite a written song?
Well, okay. Did he write that for Dolly or no?
No, Dolly wrote that.
Let me give y'all some more facts. So, well, in an interview with the New York Post, Toni said, I knew I wanted to change my image and be a little sexier. It was strategic to be an adult contemporary artist because of the texture of my voice, but I wanted to be 25 years old. I thought Unbreak My Heart would put me back in the same category of being an adult contemporary artist. Now, Toni's hit song ended up going platinum and sold over 2.4 million copies, which also led to her winning a Grammy. What are your thoughts on the tea fact of the day? I mean, I think it's interesting that I think the bigger lesson is the things that we think are good for us or our image or what we think we're perceived as isn't necessarily what it actually is. You know what I mean? Like being self-aware, like, no, I think I should be in this genre, but really you work better over there.
You know what I miss too? And soulmates, y'all can help me out. Do singers even make ballads anymore? I mean, I cannot think of the last time we just had a rain on the charts 6-month ballad. First of all, I don't even think these young girls out here could sing any ballads, number one. We talk about R&B being dead, but where are the ballads? And I think that this song was so successful because not only was it an R&B song, adult, urban, contemporary, not only did Black people listen to the song, but it had a very crossover appeal. I can remember in the 90s being in the mall with my mom, and I always gauged the success of a song by if it was playing in the Gap. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be walking through places like the Gap or JCPenney, and it'd be playing over the speaker.
I miss those big mainstream songs with Black artists, like, having these big hits out there, these monster hits. So I do miss those. Now we get these microwavable songs that we sick of in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, let's continue with some more topics. Social media is calling for Kanye West's wife, Bianca Censori, to be arrested in Italy for rocking a sheer see-through jumpsuit while out on the town. One person wrote, completely disrespectful to a conservative Catholic culture. The Italians should have kicked them out. Another person added, it's surprising she hasn't been arrested. Italy is much more conservative, in this case, rightfully so. What are your thoughts, Al?
I think, we've said this before on the show, you have to be careful when you visit these other countries and understanding their laws. Just like that young African-American female that was detained in Dubai for yelling back at that person at the car rental. She ended up in jail. And in this case, who would have ever thought the fashion capital of the world, which is, Italy, would have had this type of sentiment towards how this one was dressed. I mean, we just have to learn that what we can do in America, you cannot do in other countries without some type of repercussion, especially if it's against the law.
This is so shocking to me. Being, my mom's from Italy. I've been there like 7 times. I haven't been there in a while, but I plan to. I do remember growing up, when I would be there as a child, we would watch cartoons, right? The cartoons and the TV there was so sexually explicit. Like they was fucking in cartoons, okay? They was having sex. Nudity seemed like it was not that big of a deal over there. So I'm actually quite shocked to learn this, that they're conservative now. Because all through the 70s and 80s and a little bit into the 90s, I remember being like, damn, they're more like liberated over here than they are in America. Although America is fake liberated. Like we liberated, but then we try to be like real judgmental. But yeah, arrested for the outfit. I don't know. Q, what you think?
It's weird because to Al's point, they are a very Catholic culture and a conservative culture. And like he mentioned, it being the fashion capital of the world. But I'm guessing even with that, their whole thing is time and place. Like, yeah, we're good with that as long as it's within the confines of a fashion show. But Naomi Campbell and Christy Turlington ain't walking their ass up and down our cobblestone streets with their hoo-ha and their tatas hanging out. Now, listen, if it's against the law, meaning the law on the papers, then, she should be handled accordingly. If this is just a matter of personal preference and a few people don't like it because it looks skanky or whatever, then they can go to hell. We're in 2023, and I just think it's time that we stop governing and policing everything somebody else do. But, and I'm really double-minded, there's also a part of me that believes when in Rome, do as Romans do. And it's like, if everybody else got on jeans and a t-shirt, girl, why can't you just put on jeans and a t-shirt? And why you got to be all sheer and naked?
Like, did you know you can't, if you go to Uganda, if you're a woman, you cannot wear a skirt if it's above the knee. Just like in North Korea and in North Korea, you can't wear trousers if you're a woman. Also in Sudan, you can't wear trousers. I mean, so there are definitely laws that I think are archaic. But listen, if you're going to go in that country and you're going to break that law, then you need to be prepared for the repercussions, which is jail time.
I don't know about the laws, but I do know they do. It seems like they are trying real hard to get attention, and both those outfits look real skanky. I don't like them. I don't know if they should be arrested, but like I said, I'm just confused because what the media over there would not reflect what that law is. I'm surprised. All right, y'all. It seems like Meghan Markle can never do right in the eyes of the royals and their dusty trolls. A royal expert called out Markle for preparing to deliver a personal message of courage and resilience to injured veterans competing in the upcoming Invictus Games in Germany. The hater told GB News Meghan is going to be at the Invictus Games. She's going to speak to the veterans about courage and resilience. I thought that was quite ironic because she represents neither of these things. God damn, they always coming for this girl. What are your thoughts on this royal hater, Al?
This is just sad. I mean, what are we talking about now? Has she been resilient? Has she been overcoming negative media? Has she been overcoming attacks on her and her family, attacks on her kids, attacks on her husband, attacks on her character, attacks on her mother's character, her father's character? Has she been resilient through all of that? Has she been resilient because they've said that she's ruined democracy, that she's just like torn down all the traditions and the fall of the British royal monarchy is behind her? I mean, it was because of her. Of course, she's been resilient through all of that, but what else do they want? This woman has been attacked since day one. So what I will give her is that resilience, because that is a lot for any human being to have to go to the point where you have to move out of the country where your husband and your children live to start a new life. If that's not resilience, then I don't know what is.
All right, Q.
My question is, she's going over there to be these games, speak at these games, representing what? On behalf of whom? Build as who? Follow me here. If she's being billed as Meghan Markle, the American actress, then it kind of feels out of place, right? Because she has no relevance to Germany. It feels like she's going pseudo as the Duchess of Sussex, and you don't fool with them people no more. And y'all left and cut ties with those people. So it is just kind of weird, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, are you a royal or are you not? You said you done with the people or are you not? Is this a way of taunting these people or are you not? why are you there? You had to know that this was you being back over on that side of the world. You had to have known that that was going to start up all the controversy and bad press that you were running from. So I'm starting to question her motives in doing so.
I see nothing wrong with this. She has every right to be booked to make a celebrity appearance for in whatever capacity she's up there. We see lesser celebrities making appearances at bigger events, things that I've actually heard of. I've never heard of these games. And if they want to pay her appearance fee to go over there and encourage these people before these games, then so be it. I feel like Meghan Markle, and I've said things in opposition of what she said before because we had different opinions of our experience on Deal or No Deal, right? And it was built. They took that and ran and attacked this woman. I just feel like all this woman did was fall in love with someone she was introduced to and was villainized and demonized and billed as the destructor of the whole royal family when y'all had all kinds of problems. Hello, sexual abuse. Epstein, all kinds of other shit y'all got going on over there. But they act like she's the devil reincarnated. So I'm going to give her a pass on this. Like, I feel like if she want to go make an appearance, so she's famous. She's done a lot of charity work. She's an eloquent speaker. I think she's a very classy woman. I really do. And I think that lesser celebrities are booked for stuff like this and they get no flack. So I'm not going to give her any either. I think she should go ahead and go get your money. And she's lucky she's going to Germany. I will go to London too. Say hi to those people. I'm over there. All right, y'all, keep it locked because coming up next, Glo-Rilla is calling out Lil Duval. And later we are playing a fun game of hit or miss. We'll be right back. Hit that like button. We'll be right back. Welcome back to more TGIF. Now, if you're just joining us now, we talked right before this segment, before break, we talked about Meghan Markle making an appearance at the Invictus Games and why was she there? Well, we just got some new information. So our arguments are invalid because it turns out that Harry actually founded the game. So of course
he's gonna be there.
We'll be there. Duh. Okay.
Now it makes sense because without that, she shouldn't have had her behind over there in Germany.
You still could have taken the booking funky.
All bookings ain't good. All bookings ain't good bookings.
You won't be in stuff that you ain't got nothing to do with.
I tend, you want to know what's funny, Claudia? I don't like bookings.
You don't?
Of course, the quick money is good, but I really don't like bookings.
Send them to me.
I know. I was at an event today about Black engineers. I ain't got not near experience about engineering, but that check was very cute. So thank you, Black engineers. When's your national conference? All right, y'all. Glo-Rilla is calling out Lil Duval for his shady antics. Lil Duval tweeted, out of Sukiana, Sexy Red, and Glo-Rilla, marry, bleep, kill. Glo-Rilla replied, Granddad, why are you worrying about these young hoes pussy? Okay. Do y'all think Lil Duval was out of line, Al?
I just think I'm going to tell you what's out of line. It's his brand of comedy that's out of line. Like, this isn't the first time that he's kind of missed with this type of comedy. And he's in his 50s. That was funny when she called him granddad. But for me, in this case, I thought it was inappropriate. And some thought it was not funny at all.
Okay. You, what do you think?
You want to know so funny? I'm going to put a different spin on this. Her response to him, it hit home for me for a particular reason, especially coming off the week that I've had. Lil Duval, much like myself, has operated for so long in the urban pop culture space. So you feel like one of the movers and shakers in that space. And it's weird when you comment on something that's relevant in the space and then you're told that you're old, right? And that's the current thing that I'm kind of like going through now, because like I've been getting a lot of that, you're old, you too old to be doing this. And it's weird because in my mind, I don't feel like I'm too old to be commenting on some of the things that we comment on. It's pop culture, but I'm having to find my equilibrium when it comes to, I guess, what stories I'm too old to comment on and which ones I'm not. It's just weird. And this is something that is just starting to happen to me within the last year or so.
Yeah, Q, but listen, I want you to just de-stress a little bit. It's a difference when you're being paid to do this. This is your job, right? And it was your job as a YouTuber. People follow you for your opinion, right? People follow you for your opinion on a vast number of things, whether it's stuff that relates to Gen Zs or Ys, you still have a platform that's what you get paid to do. And I think you should be allowed to do it.
So I think, and this is something I think the 40s and 50s are very interesting time, right? It's like, it's almost like a reset. I saw a big person that I used to do radio with have to go through this. Kind of you still feel like I'm with them. I'm with the youth. I'm one of them. I'm popping. I'm part of pop culture. We in the same demo, and you're kind of not anymore, right? I remember we got in trouble on FOXSOUL with Jamie, and we talked about Miley Cyrus. We're thinking, what's the big deal? But then like, oh, she's under 18, and it came off mean, and a black man coming from a woman. It really gets taken very aggressively. And that's what you're experiencing right now, Funky. And this is what Lil Duval is. But there is something to be said about like when there's a 20-year difference. I think people look at it, it ain't like it used to be. Back in the day, you could say all kinds of stuff, but people are getting very offended about things like this, And I think in our minds, and when you're still like a young, supple 40, 50, you think I'm with them and we're really not. It's us. It's cool to us, but they think it's not. So I don't know where I don't know where the area is to be, because I'm kind of still in that space with you where I'm like, no, but I'm still with y'all. And they're like, no, bitch, you're not. So I don't know. I definitely struggle with this. I get what you're saying. All right, coming up, Kenya Moore has a question from Marlo, and social media has the receipts. Some more hot tea right after this. Welcome back. All right, listen, social media is good for one thing, and that's finding receipts. In a recent episode of Carlos King's Reality with the King podcast, Kenya Moore expressed her frustration towards Marlo Hampton and said, explain to me why you have a chairlift in your house. Is it to help with old white men going up to your bedroom? Well, a social media user quickly released the evidence on Twitter and tweeted, I found the chairlift. Oh my God. That's almost like I found the leg. What are your thoughts, Q? Look at you. I see you bursting at the seams. What you got to say about it? Because you mentioned this chair the other day.
I did. Actually, I want to say this, right? Marlo Hampton said one thing on one of those reunions, the first time she was on the reunion, that stood out to me. She said, these women are so quick to call me a whore and all these other things, but they cannot place me with one man. And you know what? I stand behind her when people say that. I'll say this because I know this for a fact from some of the Atlanta reality TV girls that I know personally. There are people that live in their homes that for whatever reason, be it health, age, so on and so forth, that are not part of their storylines, that they keep away from the camera. Y'all, I honestly don't believe Marlo is sleeping with a man that's old enough to need a chairlift to get money. I mean, yes, it makes for good fodder. I don't believe it. If anything, I believe she may be taking care of an older family member in one of her bedrooms, and that is the accommodation for that person. And that person doesn't want to be on television, exploited, or made part of her storyline. That's what I honestly believe.
All right, good point. Al, what do you think?
So I got a question, Q, and I'm just asking: did she have that house built, or did she buy it?
She bought it. Okay,
so hey, that could have been there when she purchased the house. Why is it that a person who lived in that house before could not have a chairlift? And she bought the house and it's a chairlift. She doesn't know what might happen in her life, so maybe she wanted to keep it. She didn't want to take it down. And another thing, I tend to rock for Marlo ever since I found out that woman used to be a part of the foster care system, and she was with 5 different families before she aged out of foster care. And for me, that just gives you a different type of a connection to who and what Marlo is really about.
I'm going to say this on reality TV. People take whatever information they can to hurt you, and it goes both ways. And let's not act like there's been some innocence here on either side. And that's as fair as I could be on that one. All right, before we go, have your favorite celebrities have been shutting it down in the outfits they wore to Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour concert. So it's only right that we play a fun game of hit or miss, the Renaissance edition. All right, let's cue the music. First up, we have Kandi Burruss, hit or miss?
Hit.
I say hit.
Super cute, I say hit as well. All right, next up, Summer Walker, hit or miss?
Hit.
It's a hit for me too.
I like that hat and the boots. That's super cute. Bobby Lights, was he a hit or miss?
Bobby Lights knocked it out the park, in my opinion. It was a hit.
Hit.
1000% on brand and perfect for that show. What about Portia Williams? Was she a hit or miss?
Oh, she took it back to my favorite Beyonce album, Dangerously in Love, showing off her natural beauty. Hit.
I give her a hit. She looked really beautiful there.
That top is really, really cute. I like it. All right, Moneta Shaw, was she a hit or miss?
It's a
Hey,
good
Mo.
try.
I mean, yeah, it's just giving regular tea. Like, I'm not gonna call it a miss, but it's not giving me the costumey element like everybody else was.
I would say it wasn't a hit, but it wasn't a miss.
It was cute.
Right.
Why y'all do this to me? Chloe Bailey, hit or miss? Funky, you can't speak on this.
It was a hit. It was a hit 17 times over. It was a Grammy, an Oscar, and an Emmy.
Don't be being nice to my girl now after you done got dragged for 48 hours. She been a hit, and she been cute, and she is not fat, and she is pretty. Al?
Yeah, I'll give her a hit, even though I was looking for something silver or gold. Yeah, a hit.
All right. What about Jada Cheeves? Hit or miss?
I put her in the Moneta category. It was like, again, it was not as costumey as I was expecting, but I'll go, she's not a miss.
Right. I would say not a hit nor a miss.
I'm going to go with miss. I think she's a pretty girl. I just think the outfit's like, nah, it doesn't give me Beyonce's concert. Jocelyn Hernandez, was she a hit or miss?
That's a miss for me. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah. Was she going to the concert?
What in the 579 hell? I don't.
Was she going to the concert? I'm just asking.
It looks like she's gonna go pick up an 8-ball, allegedly.
Ooh.
Now I'm gonna be in trouble. All right. I don't care. I don't like her. That was fun. We've covered so many crazy stories this week. So we like to end our show by handing out an award to a person who exemplifies pure delusion. This is our tea bag of the week. She gonna fight me when she sees me.
She gonna fight you down to the ground, bitch. At least I talk about people bad that I know I could beat up.
Hey, oh my God. We'll never be at the same event. Like I said, we will never be at the same event. You got me on a list. All right. Our tea bag of the week goes to Instagram model Teresa LeVay, who claims she played with A$AP Rocky and Lil Baby's butts. Fellas, what do you have to say about our honorary tea bag of the week? And she volunteered this information on a podcast, talking about she was in their butts, licking his finger, and that Lil Baby gave her $40,000. I'm like, why? What do you think, Al? What do you think about this?
I thought it was juicy. I wanted to know more. Like, I really did. I wanted her to give us more information on their booty holes.
I bet you did, Al. When you say booty hole, it always hits me weird. I'd be like, oh.
What do you want to call it?
It sounds unclean. It sounds unclean.
Booty hole
when you say booty hole.
It sounds wet when you say it.
Let me ask you something. If you allow a woman to play with your booty hole, do you think you would allow them to peg you?
Yes or no. It depends. And I hate that we live in such a shallow world where we automatically tie somebody getting anal arousal to them being gay. I mean, we didn't make our bodies. We can't control what places on our bodies bring us pleasure.
No, I didn't say he was gay. I said it's pegging. Pegging happens in the heterosexual.
Oh, no. But I'm sorry. I thought that was the route that you were going to travel down. So I made an assumption.
Because you remember we talked about on the show how it's a new trend now. And
it's definitely the introduction to it.
It's a gateway drug.
Yeah.
It's the on-ramp. It's the on-ramp. I'm sorry.
Is that called ass play?
Yes.
Ass play, okay.
Claudia, you lick the gooch?
I've never licked a gooch.
That's that's the area between the butt and the balls.
Yeah, I'm familiar, but I just never licked it.
You don't go that
You
far.
never hit the gooch?
No, I've given head, of course, but I've never
Right.
licked a gooch. Yeah,
You've
yeah.
touched the gooch.
You don't
Y'all
want
too
to.
nasty. Y'all
You
too
don't
nasty.
want.
You
You
touched
don't
the
want
gooch.
to, or the guys don't want you to.
No, they probably want. I had one boyfriend. I was like, "Do the thing you're not supposed to do." I'm like, "What you trying to tell me?"
But I'm gonna tell you, Claudia, you smart because straight men don't know how to clean their booty good.
know.
You are very smart. I wouldn't.
You told me that they don't.
Yes, do not let no straight man set you up. And the only way you do that, Claudia, is if y'all shower together and you back there with him, and he boo-boo first, and then y'all got in the shower and played around, and you saw that thing was clean. If not, Claudia, do not get set up. I'm telling you what I know, daughter.
I'm gonna listen to you, Dad.
What I know.
Hey, what we doing for vacation? What y'all doing? Any plans?
I'm in Mexico. I'm glad you told us we was on vacation, child, because I was finna call out.
That's a damn
Oh,
shame.
you know what? I know what I'm doing. I'm starting my class at Bowie State University on Monday, everybody. So if you're still looking for a class to take on self-promotion and marketing, you can sign up for my class. It's every Monday, Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m., 3:15 p.m.
Very nice. I'm gonna find some place to go to because now I can't sit still. All right, y'all. Y'all have fun. I want to thank Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Tracks and Tales. We will see y'all when we get back to y'all when we done vacation. And that's all. Bye.